Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here. My name is Reverend Joshua C. Robertson, and I am the senior pastor of the Rock Church and the CEO and founder of Black Pastors United for Education. I'm so glad to be here today to be with you all to speak about something that is so important and dear and near to my heart. I'm a lifelong resident of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm a proud Pennsylvanian and glad to stand for this cause. So I thank you for being here. I also want to thank those who have fought tirelessly by my side and for our students. I'd like to thank my amazing wife, my wonderful parents, and also all of these great colleagues that surround us. I stand here today as one of over 50 religious leaders across this great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We represent over 10,000 congregations and community members who believe in our governor and his promise to reform education in Pennsylvania. We want our governor to courageously lead us beyond the toxic bipartisan politics and preferences that undermine a quality education for every child in Pennsylvania. Lawmakers should not be beholden to unions, school districts, special interest groups, lobbyists, and beyond. We need our lawmakers to put Pennsylvania students at the center of their decisions. Students who are not yet of voting age need their lawmakers to consider them first. Represent parents, guardians, community leaders, and the great crowd of witnesses that are poised to love our students. Our love today speaks this truth to the powers that be. During the pandemic, our church, the Rock Church, received several calls every day from parents concerned with the education of their students. And after many prayers and meetings, we developed what eventually became known as the Rock City Learning Center. Students in our community were served at my church, the Rock Church, in this wonderful Allison Hill community in Harrisburg, even though their school doors were closed. Please make no mistake about it, Allison Hill is a beautiful community, and like other communities in this nation, it has its struggles. We have seen the weight of oppression and discrimination disseminate our communities. And one thing that I think we can all agree on is that our children are precious. Education helps inform a child's future. Unfortunately, not all children have the same educational experiences. I have spoken about this publicly, but I will share my own testimony again. I was a functional illiterate. I went to and graduated from a high school in Pennsylvania not knowing how to read. 3 semesters into my college experience, I had a .67 GPA and failed out of school. And a bishop in Shelby, North Carolina, took me under his wing and taught me how to be a student. From that point, I was able to get a full scholarship to the University of Minnesota and finish my undergrad degree. And now I have a master's degree in theology. And my life was changed significantly and radically because someone chose to ignore the systems that be to educate a kid. Without that type of diligent work and service, I would not be here today. And so I stand here continuing that legacy. Further, I am committing and continuing the biblical tradition of the relationship between the prophet and the politician. The job of clergy, ancient history reflects this job, to hold our politicians, political leaders, lawmakers responsible for accomplishing equity amongst equals. And so this is why we stand here today. In doing so, we have hosted town hall meetings to discuss with our lawmakers the laws that govern education in Pennsylvania. And we have done this and will do this throughout the great state of Pennsylvania. Today, we are here to address our state's executive leadership, Governor Shapiro, with an open letter. I'd like to read that letter for you at this time on behalf of Black Pastors United for Education. Dear Governor Shapiro, Black Pastors United for Education is a network of pastors and congregations that strategically partner to educate under-resourced children in non-traditional learning spaces. We, along with our allies in the religious community, advocate for laws and policies that protect educational freedom and opportunities. As religious leaders, we speak for our congregations and communities who want educational options that best suit the unique needs and desires of our parents, children, and neighborhoods. We believe that every child in Pennsylvania deserves educational options curated to their unique needs and interests. And so we empower the voices of parents and guardians, as well as community and religious leaders, to tell lawmakers that every child in Pennsylvania should have access to a quality education regardless of a zip code, background, or circumstance. Consequently, we have 3 specific requests. Number 1, fully and properly fund our public schools. We want to be a part of a robust conversation that includes several groups and results in a multi-year strategy and commitment to properly invest, sustain, and secure funding for our public schools. We recognize the need for high-quality traditional public schools. Number 2, enact lifeline scholarships for children in Pennsylvania's lowest performing schools. These scholarships open doors, provide access, extend relief, and empower our communities to build schools and educational environments that work for our kids. Number 3, oppose cuts to public cyber charter schools. In Pennsylvania, public charter schools and cyber charter schools educate and serve a higher percentage of low-income and non-white students than traditional school districts. Our parents are choosing cyber charter schools as the only free alternative educational option for their children. It is time for Pennsylvania to lead our nation in educational opportunity. We must work intentionally, collaboratively, strategically, and compassionately for our children and our state. We, Black Pastors United for Education, and our allies in the religious community want to build a future that properly cares for every child in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro, we remember when you told us you wanted to revolutionize education in Pennsylvania. Now is the time to lead. Now is the time to lead us into this future. We urge you to act, to make education a nonpartisan issue. Boldly dismiss the politics that prevent progress, and comprehensively fund and secure educational freedom and opportunity. We encourage both the Pennsylvania House and Senate to support this effort, advocate for children, and do what is right. Now is the time for courage. Now is the time for us to lead this effort. We are ready to stand with you and standing up for all our children. Thank you. At this time, I would like to call a student from the Rock City Learning Center who has graduated from high school and is now on their way to college, and she is a testimony of what I believe education freedom can do for us here in Pennsylvania. Receive her at this time. Her name is Tajane.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tajane Camphor. COVID happened when I was in 8th grade. I had to do online school, so I decided to stick with it when it was all over because it became easier for me, better for me, and I was separated from all the negativity and violence that was going on in the schools that I would be attending. There were negative people that I wanted to get away from. I felt like I always found myself being picked on by the people closest to me. I felt like a target. It started becoming overwhelming. I needed to be separated from a toxic energy. When I switched to online school, I was more my own person. I wasn't trying to be somebody that I wasn't just to fit in. I was doing well academically, but struggled with math, getting grades like C's and D's. while I was in school, but once I went online, I began getting A's and B's. When I came to the Learning Center to do online learning, Mission Equal was my safe place. I would go to her office all stressed out about classes like math. I would either need to talk about it, sit quietly, or just cry. After all of that, I ended up with an A in that class. Being at the Learning Center, being part of the activities there and a leadership role with the younger kids helped me to grow socially and confidence. This past year, I returned to the Learning Center as a student intern. Coming back to the Learning Center, I was interested in it because I want to go to school for elementary education. So being in the shoes of a learning guide gave me the ability to understand what it will be like to be a teacher. I love the kids. I applied to 9 schools altogether and got accepted into every last 9 of them. I decided that this fall I'll be attending Morgan State University.
Wonderful testimony, again, of what education freedom and opportunities can accomplish for students in this great commonwealth. At this time, I would like to thank those of you all who came today to support this effort and to be that cloud of witness that would say to those who lead us what we want as a constituency. We want education, freedom, and opportunity. So I thank you for being here. All of the clergy community that stands here, I thank you for being here. I'd like to take a few moments to open up for questions that may come from those who are here to see if I can answer any questions to help clarify or to help inspire. Anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Why are existing tax credit programs like EITC, OSTC not enough for Pennsylvania at this time?
Why are tax credit programs not enough for Pennsylvania at this time? Well, I think that it is an extreme great opportunity for us to address that. If it's not enough, I think that we should do what is necessary to make it enough, because we have 250,000 students in Pennsylvania that are performing under grade level and need that type of remediation and help, educational opportunities that can help. And these programs help to subsidize opportunities such as that. Thank you. Anyone else? Not everyone at one time.